Man overhears two soldiers whispering in a plane, then calls flight attendant as fast as he can. When Denny Kukich got on a plane, he didn't know what good deed he'd be doing in that very aircraft shortly after. Kukich had just finished settling into his seat when a large group of 10 soldiers arrived on the plane. They filled up the empty seats surrounding Kukich. Curious, Kukich decided to strike up a conversation. He asked the closest soldier where they were going and found out they were going to Petawawa, Canada for 2 weeks of training. They would then be deployed to Afghanistan. An hour into the flight, the plane reverberated with an announcement: sack lunches were ready for purchase for $5. Kukich was preparing to buy his own when he heard the soldiers nearby exchanging a few words about how the lunch cost too much for them to consider it worth it, so they were just going to wait until they arrived at base. It would be many more hours before that. Kukich looked around and couldn't help but notice that none of the soldiers was planning to buy a meal. That's when he decided to do something for them. He went to the back to speak to a flight attendant, and he passed her $50. He said to bring lunch sacks to every one of those soldiers. The flight attendant was touched, and tears began to well in her eyes because her son fought in Iraq, and she felt as though this, in a way, honored him. The flight attendant soon returned to the aisle with 10 lunch sacks. She then turned to Kukich and asked if he liked beef or chicken better. He wasn't sure what this was for, so he just said chicken. She walked off, then shortly came back holding a delicious dinner plate of chicken, usually reserved for first-class passengers. It was her way of thanking him for his kindness. Kukich thought that would be the end of the deed's rewards, and he certainly wasn't expecting any more. But as he went to the restroom, he was stopped by another man who offered him $25 in order to reimburse him a part of the lunch money he'd spent. Then, a little while later, the captain of the flight walked down the plane's aisles, staring intently at the numbers of seats. Soon he came to Kukich's row and, having found his mark, said he wanted to shake his hand. Kukich hurriedly stood to do so, and the pilot told him he was a pilot in the military before. He said that once someone also bought him lunch this way, and he's never forgotten the impact it had on him. Later on, Kukich took a walk to stretch his legs during the long flight and received another $25 from a fellow passenger. Then, when it was time to disembark, a man put another $25 in his shirt pocket. Kukich now had $75, but he didn't think it was right to spend it on himself. He spotted the gathering soldiers and walked up to them and gave them the money he received. The 10 young soldiers felt Kukich's love, kindness, and appreciation for them, and that of a few other passengers. Still, Kukich feels like he's barely done much to deserve praise. He praised for their safety, saying he only gave them 2 meals, almost nothing compared to what they'd be sacrificing. Regardless, his compassion touched those men's hearts, and it's something they're sure to remember. Share away, people. Check out these other videos from Let Me Know. If you haven't made the move to subscribe to our channel, all you need to do is click on that red subscribe button. Thank you for watching.